Hello everyone, today I'm here to share with you all the books I'm reading in June. So first and foremost, I want to say one quick thing. The books I feature a lot on my TBR videos are books that are coming out that month. I really try to stay updated with new releases, and I really do enjoy reading new releases, so that's what I really focus my TBR videos on. Now, do I read all new releases every single month? Absolutely not. I read a lot of backlist books. I read a lot of ARCs. The ones I primarily focus on for the TBR videos are new releases. So the books I'm showing you today all come out in June that I all am planning to read, but of course, I'm going to stick with my trend right now of mood reading. So yes, these are predominantly the books I want to read this month. Outside of that, who knows what I'm going to read? Time will tell, as I always say. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. There's a lot of backlist books that are on my shelf that I have my eye on in particular for this month, so I want to read those. Also, I'm going to try to keep up at least 2 reading vlogs a month. Fingers crossed, who knows, but here we go. A lot of these books I'm going to share with you today are not quite out yet, or they might be out now. I am filming this a few days before even June begins, so sorry about that. But the first book I want to read is My Calamity Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This is their 3rd book in their Jane series, and what they do is they take historical Jane figures throughout life and put a funny, classic kind of spin on them. So the first book, they focused on Jane, who was like the Queen of England for a hot second, then she got executed. They gave her a happier ending. And the second one, they was called My Plain Jane, I believe, and that was about Jane Eyre. Charlotte Bronte was even a character, and they made it kind of paranormal. So this is about a Jane, I think. It's like told in Wild Wild West. Even Anne Lee Oakley's in it. I don't know much about it. Honestly, I don't need to know. I've read the first 2. I love them. They are such a fun time. I don't expect a ton out of them except to laugh a lot. The way these authors write, you can't even tell one apart from the other. They just blend so well together, and I really enjoy their writing style, and I just really love this series. I always get excited for the new release in it because they're just fun books, so I am excited to read this and love it. And I don't read a lot of like Wild Wild West type of books, so I hope to love this one. I'm trying to go in release order. The next book is The Marriage Game by Sarah Desai. I love this cover. This is an adult chick lit book. This is about a girl named Layla who returns home to San Francisco after her life falls apart. Her dad like kind of arranges these series of blind dates for her. Then she has somebody knocking on her office, and it's a guy named Sam, and they kind of duke out for the office that's above like her family's restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. So when the battle for the office becomes a battle of the heart, Sam and Layla, why can't I say that name? Have to decide if this is love or just a game. I think this might be a debut author. I'm not sure, but any like chick lit lovey-dovey book, just go ahead and sign me up for. Yes, I'm that cliche. Next up is Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston. This is her 3rd book in the Once Upon a Con series. I've read both of them. I love Geekerella. I do not love The Princess and the Fangirl that much, but I'm hopefully gonna love this one. She takes kind of, you know, classic fairy tales and spins them. Obviously, Geekerella, Cinderella, The Princess and the Fangirl. I think that was like The Prince and the Pauper almost, I think. This one, obviously, Beauty and the Beast with a dog in it. So again, I don't know much about it. It's about a girl named Rosie and a guy named Vance, and their paths collide, and a rare book is accidentally destroyed. She has to find herself working to repay the debt. But as Vance and Rosie begrudgingly get to know each other, their careful mask comes off, and they may just find there's more at risking than shutting each other out than opening their hearts. So I love this series. I hopefully will love this one much more than the 3rd one. I do love Beauty and the Beast. I mean, what girl wouldn't dream of a library? That's all I'm saying. Is You Say It First by Katie Codugno. This is her latest release. She writes a lot of YA contemporaries. I've read all of her books. I have a very love-hate, I don't want to say hate, love-dislike with her books. On one hand, I really enjoy a couple of her books. On the other hand, I really don't even like a couple of her books. I tend to like her early releases more than her latest release. This one is all about this girl who gets a job at like a political call center where she has to call people on behalf of the person, I forget who, because I don't own the books, I forget who, but she's trying to get people to vote for this certain person and things like that. And she calls this guy randomly, and he annoys her for the minute she talks to him, but then they start talking and become friends, and they call each other every night. So call center, politics, love, mix it all together. I'm not the biggest fan of books with politics in them. I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't enjoy politics. It gets very brutal and conniving, and we can go on a whole spiel about that really, but I did really love Red, White, and Royal Blue that had politics in it, and I love that. So I'm hoping this one's gonna be good, but I am apprehensive just because I haven't enjoyed the last couple releases from Katie Codugno. We'll see. Next Next up is Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the sequel / companion novel to Get a Life, Chloe Brown, which I really enjoyed. It's an adult contemporary series, and this one follows Chloe's sister Danny, who falls for, I think, a security guard's affair, and they have to fake a relationship in public, and she tries to seduce him behind the scenes. But that's all I know. So I'm guessing it's fake dating, which I need to read more of because I'm trying to do several romance videos. I did a Hate to Love. I plan to do a Friends to Love. And I want to do a fake dating one. And I was trying to make a list and I was like, ooh, haven't read a lot of this. So I'm hoping this is going to be a fake dating one and I can put it on that list. But I know I probably will because I really love Talia Hibbert's books. I love the way she writes and I love the way she writes romance. So I'm very excited for this one. And the cover is yellow and summery. And I don't know about you, but I always like reading light and fluffy things during the summer. Really all year round, probably. Detour from Light and Fluffy Books. We have Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This is his latest release coming out this month. I've read, how many books does he have now? 3 books. I've read 3 of them. I like his writing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do enjoy it. I can read them fast. And his books, I really like Final Girls. It's my favorite by him. I didn't really mind The Last Time I Lied, and I didn't really love Lock Every Door. That's a very controversial one. People really love that book. There's some people that don't like it. I did not enjoy it. But this one sounds really intriguing to me, and it really reminds me of The Haunting of Hill House, which, if you know, is a classic horror story. It definitely got exploded even more when the Netflix adaptation came out, which I have not watched it because I can read scary things a lot of times, can't watch them. So this one, we follow a character named Maggie Holt. So 25 years ago, her family lived in this old mansion that has always been haunted and stuff. And basically something happens in the middle of the night that just leaves them running out of the house. And Maggie can't remember any of it. Her dad makes a book about it and talks about their experience. And she's never believed in the ghosts that her dad's always talked about. Years later, obviously, she becomes like a restorer of old homes. And then when her father dies, she inherits this house that, that had all these ghosts, and she decides, hey, I'm going to restore this old house and sell it. But of course, when she goes back there, she learns, oh, maybe my dad was not lying in his book. Maybe all these ghosts and stuff are real, and I'd never remembered it as a child. There you go. It sounds super creepy and super amazing. I like the way he writes, so I'm excited for this one. Maybe this will make me want to watch the adaptation of Haunting of Hill House. Can I handle it? I'm not sure, but I don't know. I like reading light and fluffy things in summer, but I also like reading thrillers lately, and those are a great combination. Are they? Not really. Next up is another thriller, but a YA one. This is I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. This one has a podcast element into it, and whenever I hear a book about podcasts, I just flock to because I think they make great thriller books. Just the element with podcasts, because we all know how popular, Serial was, and there's so many other murdery type of podcasts where they really dissect a case and talk about gory things as well. Those are amazing. I don't listen to them because I probably can't handle it, but I really love how they incorporate into thriller novels. So this one is all about a girl named Anna who arrives in the Hamptons for a summer nanny gig, and she finds the community on edge because this girl Zoe disappeared. Anna bears a really striking resemblance to Zoe, she looks almost like her, so people are like, this is weird, obviously. And 2 months later, Zoe's body is found and Anna is charged with murder. No, and Anna is charged with manslaughter, so that's great. But Anna's confession is riddled with holes, and Martina, teen host of the Missing Zoe podcast, isn't satisfied. Can Martina's podcast uncover the truth? So this is actually inspired by the classic Rebecca, which I know is isn't that a very controversial classic, or am I thinking of Lola? I'm not sure. I'm not a classic fan. Either way, podcast thrillers, I'm there for it. I haven't been loving YA thriller. I've said time and time again on my channel, I love thrillers, but there's not a ton of YA ones that I love. But then again, I read a really good one last month, so I'm hoping this will be another one of my favorite YA thrillers, and I can make my list of them even longer. All right, and the last new release I plan to read is Girl Unframed by Deb Coletti. This is another YA contemporary one, and this one's all about a girl named Sydney who has a really bad feeling about moving home to San Francisco, and then she discovers that her mom is dating this really kind of notorious art dealer, and things get really shady, I think, and then something life-changing happens on the stairs that lead to the beach. It's really hard-hitting contemporary books that I really love, so I'm hoping to love this one. Those are all the new releases I really want to read. There is also Always the Last Note by Kristen Higgins that comes out this month that I may or may not read. Those are the books I'm planning to read June. As always, I'm probably going to read different ones. My NetGalley list is always ever growing, so expect a NetGalley, another NetGalley video where I do a whole bunch of ARC reviews in one. And yeah, I would love to know, you're reading this June? Are you reading light and fluffy things, thrillers, fantasies? What do you prefer to read in the summer months? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.